I have been most impressed with their leadership and work, and particularly with their passion for efficiency and effectiveness in county government. And so without further ado and further yakking, I'm going to turn this over to these two.
I know this has been a priority topic, and during my campaign I was specifically asked about this. I can tell you, as someone who has spent my career in a corporate environment in the maritime sector, I understand how a board reporting to a chief executive down through an organization operates. And coming here, it has been a real eye-opener for me, given the amount of sheer breadth of commissioners' duties, as well as external facing issues that require a lot of advocacy at the state and sometimes the federal level as well. So this project was born out of a desire, I think, for process improvement. And the other two commissioners also are interested in hearing the results of this. Therefore, a committee was formed to explore this with not only citizens such as Robbie. We also have other elected officials within our county, and we also have appointed directors as well who work directly under the commissioners. So Eric, the executive director of the Association of Counties, has been a wonderful resource and a wealth of knowledge and experience, and has put us in contact with a lot of different folks. But I'm going to hand it over to him now so you can hear the nitty-gritty of how this is going. Eric?
Okay, thanks, Commissioner Wright. I'm going to hook this up. And hopefully you'll be able to still hear me. I'll turn the volume up. Are we okay? All right, great. Are you ready to geek out on county government for about an hour or so? That's not a better topic, I'm here to tell you. Who said something about Harvard? I went to Harvard. You can just, anyone can walk in, so you can say that. Yes, Western Washington University and UW probably would not appreciate my joke there, but anyway. So we're going to talk a little bit about, and I guess Tish, you're going to advance the slides when I say, oh boy, so this is I have no idea. I actually unfortunately think it ended up with some of those transitions that I had not been aware of, so who knows, Tish, what might happen on this screen. So we're in for a great day. So we're gonna do two things. We're going to divide this really into maybe three sections. The first section will be a little bit about county government, so you just get the context of county government. The second piece, we'll talk specifically about the project that we're working on with Kittitas County, and then we'll throw it open for Q&A, and so we should have less time for Q&A as well. So let's talk about this. This is the oldest form of government here in Washington State. It actually predates statehood, when we had a territorial form of government. At statehood, we had 34 counties at statehood. We had 5 counties that were added. In fact, one of yours, you gave a little bit to Chelan County. And then we had one name change. Chehalis County became Grace Harbor County. So we really have been around a long time. We actually were first districts before we became counties, if you really want to go back a ways into the territorial days. So next slide. You also have a sheet there if anyone's following along, just in case. It's probably too small to read, but we tried. So this is really the interesting element of county government, is that we have 3 distinct duties. We have a constitutional set of duties as the administrative arm of the state of Washington. And keep in mind that the form of county government, we could really geek out and go way back on why county government kind of actually got its start, is that when the first county was formed, it was James City down in Jamestown and in Williamsburg area, because that was the familiar form of government. The king created districts, the counts created counties, where they could divide their geographic area up to be able to, in fact, have an area that the decentralized government could occur. They were agents for the king, or agents for the count in those geographic areas. The shiree, for example, is a long, ancient term you might have heard before. That's basically the sheriff now, the shiree. So we are an administrative arm of the state. Think about the things we do on behalf of the state, the 39 counties. Your county auditor administers the election system on behalf of the state of Washington. There's not a vote cast that doesn't come through that county auditor system. The trial court system, the Superior Court judge, they are officers of the courts of the state of Washington. So we run all of that. The entire property tax system is done by your county assessor and your county treasurer. So we are an agent for the state to conduct their business for them at the county level or at the regional level. The second functionality area, which is we really are a county-wide or regional service provider. There are certain functions that we do throughout the entire county. So for example, public health is a really good one. We deliver public health services to the entire county, whether you live inside the city limits or you live in the unincorporated area, we deliver that service to those areas. So that's a good couple of good examples. We're also part of larger regional groups. Sound recovery is one, watershed protection, the Yakima River Basin, all those types of regional type of approaches that we work on is another one. And I'm sure Commissioner Wright can talk about how many boards and commissions that he serves on both are within the county, but are in a geographic region or statewide as well. And then we provide services for the unincorporated area. We are the government for the unincorporated area. So the people that live outside of a city limits, it is our responsibility as well. Then road system. I'm not sure how many miles of roads this county has, but over half of the roads in the state of Washington, how many?
520.
520. About half of the roads in the state of Washington are county roads. So keep that in mind. It's a pretty significant responsibility. And we have our own taxing district for the road system. If you live in a county like I do, you look at your property tax statement, there's one for county and there's one for roads, and that one is the county roads system. We provide law enforcement, the sheriff into the unincorporated area. We do planning and building in the unincorporated area. We do a number of activities just for the unincorporated area. Next slide. This breaks down some of those activities. I'm sure way too small on your slide, but we can send you the PowerPoint as well out if people want it, so you can see it. This gets into a little bit more detail of those services we do as a state agent, the services we do as a county and or region, the services that we deliver as the local government for the unincorporated area. So again, we have this kind of three kind of responsibilities across the spectrum. Okay, next slide. So let's talk about the very uniqueness of county government, which is embedded in the state constitution. And so think about this. Cities don't find their responsibility to be created by the state legislature. They are created by themselves, by the citizens. We are created, the only way a county can be created is by the action of the state legislature. And constitutionally, they have to create a uniform system of county government as well. And we're going to talk about what that system looks like. In 1948 and in 1972, the Constitution was amended to allow for what we call county charters. And I think some of the league probably has had a discussion about county charters. We are not here to talk about a county charter, though. And we'll talk more about that as we move through here. But we have a uniform system of county government, and we have had 7 counties that have done county charters. So we'll move into that here in just a moment. Go ahead. So this system is a uniform system throughout the state, unless there's a county charter. So next slide. There are 5 constitutional officers that are created in the Constitution that the uniform system has. There are Board of County Commissioners, sheriffs, clerks, treasurers, and prosecuting attorneys. These are 5 constitutional officers. Okay, next slide. And this uniform system is 32 of our counties. The red notes the 5 constitutional officers, and the legislature has created 3 additional officers. The assessor, the auditor, the coroner. So we have 7, what I call these 7 independent elected officers: sheriff, county clerk of Superior Court, not to be confused with the clerk of the board for the Board of County Commissioners, clerk of Superior Court, treasurer, prosecuting attorney, and our judges, the auditor, assessor, coroner. So look at this group. These are either constitutional officers or they are created by statute. And this group right here, every county has these with one exception, and we're going to get into the geekness of it. But your county went through this transition not that long ago, is the county coroner for counties under 40,000 the prosecuting attorney holds that responsibility. And then to add, we could really get in. There are some tweaks to this based on population, but they're uniform based on population then as well. The statute actually requires this set of offices in the uniform system to be partisan, with the exception of the judges. They have to be partisan. Well, now we have a top 2 primary where you can declare your party. You could be, if you're a Republican, you can be part of the Grand Old Party. You can be part of the Republican Party. You can be, a conservative Republican. You can be a constitutional Republican. You can, whatever you write in those characters, you're that party. So add a little dynamic to this, but it is partisan in nature. You could write independent, no party preference, but you've got to write something in that block now. Whereas if for a city council, for example, they run nonpartisan, they don't get a chance to do anything but that.